Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build a website for your personal training business. So this is the website right here. Of course, with the text and images, you can fully customize these yourself, but the general layout of the website will look like this. So in here, we can click book online now, and then people can choose the product or the service that they would like to book. We can go through, they can book now, and they can actually book this through your website. With this, they can also pay. So if you have a paid service, you can take payments on your website as well. In terms of the rest of the website, this is the homepage right here. We just have a little about section, some customer reviews, and then people can schedule a workout. We have an about section, which gives some information about us, some images, some experience that we have, a testimonial right here. We have this pricing area that shows all of our services and the pricing, a contact page with a simple form, and of course the store area where people can go in and book sessions with you. Now this video is a complete step-by-step tutorial, so even if you have never built a website before, if you are brand new to building websites, all you have to do is follow along with this tutorial and you will walk away with a beautiful and professional personal trainer website. The website builder that we will be using in order to build this website is the Hostinger website builder. Hostinger is the easiest website builder out there, especially for beginners. It is also super cost effective and it includes everything that we need. So we can see we get a free domain, we get e-commerce functionality, which is going to allow people to book through your website. So this is why we are going with Hostinger. When you sign up to Hostinger, if you do so using the top link in the description, as you can see right here, you can get up to 75% off, which is what makes Hostinger even more cost effective. So once you have clicked on that link, we just go to claim deal right here. And from these two options, the one that we want to go for is the business website builder, because with this, we get the e-commerce functionality. So with this is going to allow us to offer like one-on-one training sessions or group coaching sessions. You can even sell like ebooks on your website. So this is why we need this for our site. So we are just going to go up to the business website builder and click on choose plan. And then in here, Hostinger is now going to ask, how long would you like to sign up for? So of course, the longer we sign up for, and the way this works is we pay for the website upfront for this amount of time. So if we go for 48 months, we pay the full 4 years upfront for $200. And as I said, the longer we sign up for, the bigger discount we are going to get. The only one I would recommend avoiding is this monthly plan right here, because the price just shoots up. As you can see, $14 per month plus a $5 setup fee, and we also don't get our domain included. So even if we go to the 12 months right here, as you can see, this is an average of $4.99 per month. We can have our website for an entire year for just $60. And then the way this works is once we have had our website for 1 year, it's then going to renew at $14 per month. So this is why if you know you will have your website for a longer period of time, it's worth signing up for one of these longer plans because we lock in this discounted pricing for 4 years in this example instead of 1 before we go back to the monthly pricing. So once you have chosen your period and how long you would like to sign up for, we just click on continue. On this next screen, it's then going to ask us to enter in our billing information. So we just enter in our address, go to continue, and then in here, we can enter in the payment method that we would like to use to pay for Hostinger. And then once we have entered this in, we click right here on submit payment. From here, once we have paid for Hostinger, Hostinger is then going to ask us a few questions to get us fully registered. So this first question, who is this website for, myself or somebody else? This is kind of irrelevant, so I always just go ahead and skip this question. It's then going to ask if we want to create or migrate a website. Now we are creating a brand new website with Hostinger. So in here, we want to go, I'll create a website. It's then going to ask if we want to use WordPress or the Hostinger website builder. So with Hostinger, because we now have hosting, we can go ahead and build a website on WordPress. I wouldn't recommend this because especially for e-commerce functionality, when we need people to be able to book on the site, we are going to have to install extra things on WordPress. WordPress is also a lot more complex of a website builder and is often more costly. So from these options, we want to go for Hostinger. We can keep this nice and simple while still creating a beautiful website. So we just select the Hostinger website builder right here. And then on this screen, this is where we can choose the domain for our website. So your domain is www.yourwebsitename.com. And in here, you can go ahead and claim your website name. Once that has been claimed, the last thing we have to do is just enter in our country and some final contact details. And just like that, we are now fully signed up to Hostinger. Once we are registered to Hostinger, Hostinger will then take us over to this page. And we have two options here. We can either go in and we can use AI to create the website template for us. So we would go into brand name, for example, and I can call this Holden's Fitness. And then we can enter a little description about here, like create me a personal trainer website, give some information about the website, and then we can create a website with AI. So that is definitely an option. You might want to go ahead and test that out. But I think a much better way to do this is Hostinger has a beautiful template for personal trainers. So we can go into search all templates at the top and type in personal trainer. And then the first one that pops up, which is this one right here, is going to be perfect to build our website. So we can just click into here, into select template. And right now we are in the Hostinger editor. Now, the awesome thing about the Hostinger editor, and the main reason I recommend you to use Hostinger, is because this is drag and drop. So with any of the text on the website, all we have to do is double click into this, and then we can change the text right here. So if I add Riley Holden, and then personal trainer is absolutely fine. Then we can go down this text right here. Once again, we can click and we can change all the text right here. For images like this background image, all we have to do is click on edit section, and then we can replace the image in here. And then if we go down, we can see right now there is not a lot of information on this website. So we can go in and we can add different sections to this and then customize them in the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and start customizing this. Like with this text, this is already fine. I don't need to change this at all, but I do want to go ahead and change this background image. Now, I'm not actually a personal trainer. I haven't done a photo shoot, but you should have some images of yourself for your personal training business. So I'm just going to use stock images as an example. But to replace this background image, we just go into edit section right here. We can click on replace image, and then we just upload the image that we would like to go with. So I'm going to add this image right here. Then we can click on select, and just like that, this image is now going to drop in. So what we can also do is if this white text is a little bit hard to read now with the new background, we can go ahead and turn the opacity up, and it adds like a darker background so that we can see this a little bit more. But in this example, I don't think we need this. I think this looks fantastic already. So we now have this top section created. What we do want to do is add a button here so that people can go straight in and they can book with us. But we will do this towards the end when we actually have this set up. But for now, we just want to go ahead and create this homepage. So right here, we have a little bit of text that says, hello, I'm just going to say Riley. And then we can change this text right here to fit exactly what we do a little bit more. Once this is edited, you can see we have an About Me button right here. And this should take us over to the About page. So just to make sure this does, we can click on the button and click on edit, and we can see this already links to the About page. Then we have this section down here that says, let's schedule a workout. So we can click in, and once again, we can edit this text right here. And with this button, I'm just going to go in and edit this, and I'm going to say book online now. Once again, we will link this to a better page when we actually have everything that we offer laid out on a page. But for now, we'll just change that to say book online. Then down here at the bottom, this is the footer of the website. So for this, I would go ahead and remove this email address bar right here. We don't need this. We can then move our social media over. And from here, all we have to do in this bottom section is go ahead into this contact me, change this to your work email address, add your phone number right here. And then with the social media, we just click on these, edit social icons. And then in here, we just click into Twitter, for example. You can add your Twitter, you can add your Facebook. We can add a new link if you want to add TikTok or something like this. But we can add social media right here. So this is the brass tacks of the website, and you absolutely could just leave the homepage like this. But what we can also do is we can go into add a section right here. So this is probably where I would add a section. And in here, we can go down and we can add in like testimonials from our clients. We could add a map if we want people to be able to find us. We could add a gallery of all of the photos we have from personal training. We could add a video. We can connect up our Instagram. There are just so many options that you can add to the website right here. And the awesome thing about this is, once again, it's super simple, where we just click in and then we can edit this, and then we can add the link to the video, or we can add a link to our Instagram, whatever we want to add here. So we can definitely play around with that, but something that is very important that we now need to set up is actually getting what we offer as a personal trainer onto the website. So to do this, because we have e-commerce functionality and we got this package of hosting up, all we have to do is go over to the left-hand side right here and click on Add Store. Then we can go to Add Store. And just like this, it's going to load us in with a store. It's going to add a new page and it's going to come with a load of default products. So of course, we want to go in and edit these. To do this, we just go to Manage Store. So the same cart button on the left-hand side. And the first thing that we are going to do before we actually touch on the products is first of all, go to appointments right here because we need a booking system for the website. So we click into appointments and then we can click on enable appointments right here. And then in the appointments area, we can see the time zone that we are currently in. So if you do need to change this, we can just click in and we can change the time zone. And then we can also set our availability right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up a little bit more and include Saturday. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set the hours from 9 to 6. So we can go 9 to 6. And I'm going to do the same for all of these to set my availability when I'm working as a personal trainer. Perfect. So I'm available from 9 to 6 on all of these days. I have the time zone set and we can go ahead and click on save. So we now have our appointment availability set up. So what we can now do is go into products and we can add in all of the products that we are going to sell. So the first thing that we are going to do is of course, delete all of these. We can click on this box at the top and go to delete right here and delete everything that is in. And then we want to go in and start adding our products. So from these products, we can sell physical products. We can sell digital products. So this is if you want to add like an ebook or something like this. We can sell a service. And of course, we can sell appointments. So this is what I'm going to do. We are going to set up an appointment. We can add an appointment right here. And then we are going to go ahead and set this up. So we can go in here and I'm just going to call this 1 hour personal training session. Then for the subtitle underneath the text, we can say a 1-on-1 personal training session with Riley, just like that. We can then go down and add a description to this, which we can add right there. Just a brief description, what this is and what is included. And then we can go down and we can add a price right here. So I'm going to charge $50 for this session. With this discount price, this is if you want to essentially offer a discount. So what we could do in here is we could say this was $100 and is now $50. And then it would show $100 like strikes through and then the actual price would be $50. But I'm not going to do this for my website. We can just set this to $50. Then we can go all the way down right here to time and place. And we can add the location. So in here, you would add your address or wherever you do the personal training. So let's just say London gym. Let's be very vague with this, just in this example. And then we can set this to 60 minutes. But down here, I highly recommend setting this. This is an appointment condition. And what this means if we set this is somebody can't just book like 10 minutes before you need to have an appointment with them. So the way that I would do this is maybe just set this like 2 hours before so that people can't just immediately book an appointment and then expect to be in 10 minutes. The availability is already set. So all we now have to do is I would just go up and we can add an image to this. So as an example, I will add this image in right here. And then we can go down, click on save. And as we can see, the 1 hour personal training session is now in there. So from here, we just repeat the process and do this with all of the things that we are going to be adding. Now, what I will say is with our bulk appointments. So for example, if I wanted to go in here and say 10 1-on-1 sessions package, essentially the way that this would work is somebody could go down and they could only book 1 appointment, right? So what you would have to do on your side is with this, you would have to reach out to the client and basically say, look, you've booked 10 sessions, you've got the first one booked in, but when do you want to do this? And you'd have to reach out to them and figure that out on your own. They can't like book in 10 sessions, if you get what I mean. But from here, we would just do the exact same thing. So we can go down and we can add in the image. We can add a description right here. And with this, because this is like 10 sessions, down here, this is where we could actually use the discounted price. So if a 1-on-1 session is $50, 10 would be $500, but I'm going to offer this for $400. We can then go down and once again, just add the location. So we'll say London gym, duration is 60 minutes. And then once again, we'll just set this to 2 hours. Perfect. So we now have both of these set up right here. and you can go ahead and add in the rest of your products. So once we have the products added in and we have the appointments and availability set up, we can back out of this and go back to the website. And we can see in here, we now have this product page that says all products. We do need to clean this up, but this is how it looks so far. So now that we have this created, we can go back to the home screen right here. And remember this button I wanted to add? We can do this by going to add element. And you can add any of these things to your website. So you can add social icons, you can add videos, you get the idea on how to do this. But we can just drag in a button right here and we can change this to say, book online now, just like that. Which page do we want to link to? We want to link to the store. What I would maybe do is also go in here and edit the button style. So I'm going to say that we don't want a fill color on this. We want the border width just like that. And we'll set this to white. And now the button looks a lot better. Perfect. So that's now added. And then once again, we can just go down here and let's say we want to add in some testimonials. We could go ahead and drop these in right here. And then once again, we can just click in and change the image, add an image of this person. We can go into the text and we can add the testimonials. So we can change those up right there. And we now have testimonials here at the bottom. What we can also do is where it says, let's schedule a workout right here. We can just go in and edit this to change it from the page over to the store area. Perfect. So that is the homepage created right there. Just add and edit sections that you want to add. And then from here, we can go in and play around with these other pages. So down here, we have an about me page where we can click in and once again, just change this text. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on this because this is literally just a case of clicking in, editing these images right here, editing the text, adding in your experience, and then we have another testimonial right here. Let's schedule a workout. We're going to click edit button, and in here we'll say book online now. And for the page, we are just going to go ahead and link this to the store page once again. So that is how we can edit the about me page. In the pricing page, honestly, you could really get rid of this because we already have the store on there, but we might just want to go in and we can go and say 1 hour, one-on-one session, $50. Then you get the idea. We can go ahead and edit these. Once again, go in and edit this button down here to make sure it links to the right page. And that is how we can set up pricing. Now with the contact page right here, this is a little bit different. So this you can click in and edit just like normal, but then we have a form here as well. So if we go into edit form right here where it shows the email, make sure this is your work email, the one that you actually want to receive these work emails to, because the way this works is somebody might come along and they will fill out this form. And then when they've filled out the form, Hostinger will send you an email to this email address right here, basically saying somebody filled out your form. This is what they filled it out with. So that's how you can make sure you get this. Then we can also go over to fields and we can customize what is in this form. So right now we can see this is your name, your last name, your email address, and your message. And you see these little asterisks. This basically means this is required. So with last name, this is off. But if I turn it on, they now can't submit the form without entering that in. So we can go in and we could add a new form field. We could add a paragraph right here. We could go in and say, what are your fitness goals? Just like that. And we could say, enter your goals here. Then to move these around, we can just drag one on top of the other. I'm actually going to delete the message right here. And we might add another form field. And in here, we can ask for somebody's phone number. Enter your phone number here. Perfect. And then once again, I'm just going to drag this underneath the email, but on top of the fitness goals right there. And that is how we can edit the contact me page. Then finally, the last thing that we have to edit is the store page right here. And once again, the way that we do this is a little bit different because we can't just click in and edit things right here. What we have to do instead is click here on edit section, and then we can go ahead and change a few of these things. So we can change like the layout of these and how this is going to look. We can change the image ratio if there's like square or landscape or portrait. We can go into the styles and we can change the section color if we want this to be black with white text or however the rest of the colors are on the website. With this, the website does seem to have a lot of black on it. So what I would do is maybe even go to the contact page right here. and do the exact same thing, right? So I'm going to leave this as black with white. I think it fits the website a lot better. Then once we have that set up, we have the entire website created. One thing that I would do, and I would do this on your end as well, is just to check that the booking system is working, is before we actually put this live and we tell people to go to the website, we actually want to go into manage products. And we want to set one of these to free, just so we can go ahead and actually book this and make sure that this is working. So there we go. We can go ahead and set this to free and click on save right here. So this is now set to free. We can then go out, and to put the website live and onto the internet, all we have to do is click on go live right here. And this is going to put the website live. So if we go through, we can click into all of these areas, just make sure everything is working. But then we can go to the free session right here. We can see it says book now, and in here you would usually be taking payment, but we can see all of the times from 9 to 5 are available. People can go ahead and book this in, and then they could pay on this screen. So one thing I will clear up just in this area, we now know this is working, so we can go back to manage products and we can set the price on this again. But just to clear something up, when you actually set up the store, you can go ahead and add a payment method right here. This is very important, and you want to connect up both Stripe and PayPal. So this will allow you to accept Visa, MasterCard, Amex, and also PayPal, so that you can actually accept payments through your website. But with all of that being said, we just make sure the website is live, we can test this out, and then we can tell people to go there. And that is how you can create a personal trainer website step by step. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.